day, good evening, or good morning, depending what time and where you are tuning in from. Welcome to FitFab Workouts, and this is our ZenFit session, which is actually not a workout, but rather a Zenat. So what are we going to be doing today? We're going to start off with some nice stretches to release any tension in our hips, in our groin, in our lower back, right? And then we're going to move over onto some more recline stretches to refresh the legs, to refresh the body, and we will then continue into a nice, pure, deep relaxation session that is going to truly rejuvenate and restore you. You will feel really fresh after this session. So what I recommend you to use today is make sure you have a little sweater or something to put on when we get into the more relaxation, because you will really cool down. I know it's getting warm, but it is really going to make you feel very, very cool. And so it might be nice to have something to cover you with. For the rest of our stretches, we're just going to use our body today. No accessories necessary, no foam rollers, no toys, balls, or what have you. It is just your body. So let's get started. Go ahead and stand up for me here, right? And what I want you to do is to stand nice and tall with your feet shoulder width apart. Scoop your tailbone, send your tailbone towards your heels. Reach your arms up nice and high. Bring your palms to touch, and then interlace your fingers, and then just swing lightly from left to right, pushing your hips to the outside, to the opposite side that you're leaning. So really getting a nice feel here into some gentle side bend, but also really extending, stretching out that IT band and that tensor fasciae latae that tends to get a little tight when we run, when we ride bicycles, when we sit for many hours, right? Good. Nice. And then now release your hands, but keep your hands and your palms parallel, just shoulder width apart, and continue this smooth movement. Really feel your tension being released. Good. Now come back through the center, reach tall. You're going to cross your right leg over onto your left, and then you're going to reach over to your right and send your hips to your left. And just hold it here. Breathe. See if you can reach a little bit further. Keep your arms nice and straight. Press your fingertips away. Inhale, come on back up. And then from here, you're going to bend all the way forward. Let the head drop. And yes, your feet are still crossed. Legs are still crossed. Exhale, let go of tension here. And then unroll yourself up. Nice and tall. We'll do this once again. Reach to the side. And then all the way back up, and then come on forward. And let go of any tension here. And unroll yourself up. Gentle back bend and release down. Great work. Uncross your legs with back, shoulder, hip width apart. And we go back into our gentle balancing side to side. Good, back through the center. Cross your left foot over your right. Go ahead, lean to your left, sending your hips to your right, keeping the arms nice and parallel, nice and straight, pressing your fingertips towards that opposite end of the room. Feel a nice stretch all along here, all along the outside. Good. Inhale, back up, and then exhale. Come on forward. Let everything hang here. Let go of any tension. And round yourself up. Reach up nice and tall. And back to the side. Make sure your arms stay parallel, stay straight. Reach back up and forward again. And round yourself up, gentle back bend and release down. Great job. All right, next up, you're going to bring your feet together. So first, bring your feet shoulder width apart, and then just clap your heels together, right? So they're like in a soft first position. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to really show you how to release a lot of the tension that we hold in our sacrum and our lower back. So just bend the knees softly, scoop your tailbone towards the ground, lifting your pelvis up, and then press the ground away with your heels. Nice straight legs. Inhale your arms up. And then from here, you're going to round head, neck, shoulders, everything comes down here, not down to the ground, but just rounding the back. And then we unround up. So we're going to move progressively into this. We're going to do this 2 more times. There, so keeping your legs nice and straight. It's just your spine that you're rounding and straightening, right? 1 more. Rounding yourself all the way down here. And round up. Beautiful. Now, reach up towards the sky. Keep your hips above your ankles. Then go forward as far as you can away from your hips, right? And then come all the way down. Down. So now you're in a, let me show you a side view. Now you're in like a forward bend here. Lengthen through your spine. It's really imagining you want to fold yourself in half and you want your spine to be super straight, right? Good. Now let the head hang here. Okay. And then now you're just going to bend gently the feet and straighten the legs. And squeeze through your glutes. It's going to help release all that tension down there. Bend again and straighten. Good. 1 more. Good. Now let the head hang here. And then lengthen the spine. Come on forward. Reach your arms far in front and come on all the way up. And release down. Great job. Just check in with your hips. Maybe just a few hip circles in one direction. Hip circles in the other. See how that feels. This should feel really yummy around here, around that lower back. Yeah? All right, good. So next up, we're going to bring our feet nice and wide. The toes are going to be slightly open, right? You're going to bend one knee out. So you've got straight left leg, bent right leg, and then extend your upper body to create a straight line here. And so now we're just extending that stretch. You know, when we were standing up, just extending a little bit. Don't lean too much on this leg. You can have it there for a little bit of balance, a little bit of comfort, but don't collapse into it. Use your core to hold yourself up, okay? Good. Nice work. Rotate, pivot this left leg forward and press the heel as far as you can. So stretching all the way from the Achilles, all the way along this side. Good. And then gently press into your front leg. Scoop your tailbone. Your arm is still up. And then exhale, lean back. Feel a nice stretch happening in your hip flexor here, right? Good. And then come on forward. And pivot that leg. Side. And then come on up. Release down. Great job. We're going to do the other side. So come on to the side. Reach your arm up. Lean sideways a little bit. There we go. Pivot. Right. Press back. Reach up. Scoop tailbone. Lean back. Come on forward. Back through that side. And then back up. Good job. All right, next up. Your feet are still nice and wide. You're going to come down, sitting down, low, 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 low. Bring your forearms on your inner thighs and just hold it here And we're going to just gently swing left to right. So opening up the groin here. Good, and then stop here halfway. Lean forward a little bit, bring your hands on the floor, reach down, knees are still bent, right? Pivot your feet forward, lengthen through your legs, and imagine you want to place the crown of your head down on the floor. Now feel the nice stretch in the back of your legs, all along your spine, and let your head and your shoulders and your whole spine decompress here. Let gravity do its job. Bring your hands out to the side, place them underneath the outside of each foot, press into the fingers, all right? So you stay active with your legs. Good. Release your hands, slide your hands forward in front of you. You're still hanging half upside down. And then lift yourself up so that your torso is coming into a tabletop. Your hands are on the ground. So give you a side view here. This is what we are doing. So the more, if you're able to bring your legs nice and wide so that you have a flat back and you're not bending forward too much, that is great. If not, don't worry about it. Good. And then from here, I want you to really engage through your core and your lower abdominals, right? So hold on to them, exhale, drive that belly button towards the spine, and just feel a nice long spine happening there. Good. Now go ahead, bend knees, bend elbows, come forward, all the way down. Feel a deeper stretch in your groin again, in your lower back, and then come on back up, straighten everything. One more, inhale, exhale, bend everything down. Inhale, exhale, come on back up. Start walking your feet closer, bring your hands on your hips, come on all the way up. Good. Again, check in with those hips. How are they feeling? Good, right? Great. Okay, so that was it for our standing stretches. We're going to take it down to the mat now, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get into, again, a little bit deeper in the outer hips and the lower back. So I'm going to be using a few stretches that you might have seen in yoga if you practice yoga. But don't worry, I'm going to take you into this very smoothly, nothing to be worried about. Okay, so we're going to start onto all fours. Let me put my white towel down for some contrast here. Will be better. There we go. And just adjust the screen a little bit. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, perfect. So you're going to be here on all fours. We're going to do like a gentle kind of modified pigeon. So go ahead, slide your right knee towards the base of the right hand, pivot the foot, and then come and sit down. Right? And then what I'm going to ask you to do here is to swing, is to rock your pelvis left to right. Okay, because in an ideal world, what we want is to have that right hip down onto the ground and then that left hip flexor onto the ground, right? But like I said, in an ideal world. So what I want you to do is to just rock back and forth. So once you're getting your hip onto the ground, once you're getting your hip flexor onto the ground, right? And just do that very gently, you know, with a lot of love and appreciation, but also just with the intention to subtly stretch and release tension, right? Because that's ultimately the goal of stretching, is to release tension. And it might feel better coming further onto your glute, or it might actually feel better when you come more towards your hip flexor. Personally, when I'm on this side, it's all about coming up onto the left hip flexor, really opening this whole area here. So let's just keep rocking about another 2, 3 times here. Good. Nice. Okay, now, little subtlety that we're going to do here. Instead of coming straight out of this position, you're going to bend your left leg, and then you're going to lift your hips up a little bit and release your calf down right behind you, okay? So let me show you from the side. So we were straight like this. You come up a little bit, bend your leg, and then bring this down, okay? So we're here, and then from there, you're going to come and sit on this side. So you have a nice kind of natural opening here, right? So then square your shoulders so they're facing forward. And then now with your hands, imagine you're kind of like sitting on some sand and you're just sweeping the sand around you, creating like this little circle, right? And you'll notice that as you come towards that back leg, that left leg that's bent, right, it might be a little bit tighter. And so that's what we're trying to release here, is all that whole kind of hip and QL zone, right? Really breathe and just relax. Really visualize the beach, the waves. Good. Now come to a halt. From here, flex your left foot. What I want you to do is, first of all, just lift the left knee off the ground without leaning back, right? So nothing else is moving except the left knee here, right? Okay, good. We're going to do this 5 more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release your knee down. And then from there, we're going to lift our foot off the ground, up. And again, we try not to lean forward to do this. We stay there. So this is really going to get deep into your hip. But as you do this, you're flexing a little muscle that never gets opportunity to work so much. And actually, by flexing that little muscle, it's going to release tension off other areas. And then just lift your knee up again and release. And come forward, back on 2 all fours. And we're going to go and do the other side. So you're going to slide your left knee towards the base of your left hand, pivot the foot, and here we go. You're in this nice little pigeon pose. And remember what we did before? We were just rocking side to side, right? So just rocking here, feeling nice and comfortable. And again, same thing, just see where it's working the best for you. Is it when you're coming towards the hip flexor? Is it when you're coming more towards the hip? Where do you feel that you need to stretch the most, right? It's important to tune in and adapt, because I can give you a lot of direction, but in reality, I give you the tools, right? I give you the tools, I give you a framework or a roadmap or a plan, but you then have to do it and you have to fine tune, right? Good. All right. So then remember, you come up, you bend your back leg, pivot it down, and come and sit down. Come back to facing you. So here, leg extended behind, bending, pivot down, and sit down. Squaring the shoulders, facing forward, extending the arms in front of the legs, and then just sweeping. And sweeping the sand. Or visualizing we're by the beach. We hear the waves. Good, good. And one last time. And come on to a halt. And then here, remember, we lift the knee off the ground without leaning forward or leaning back. We just lift the knee up. This really increasing hip mobility here. And very gently, very softly, right? This is new. This may be new for you today. So be gentle in your approach. Let's do another 3, 2, 1. Good. And then you're going to lift the foot off the ground, okay? Let me show you here. And just lifting the foot, right? Without, again, leaning forward too much. Getting deep into this muscle here, right? May cramp a little bit like mine just did there, and that's okay. You do what you need to do to let go. This is a sign that it definitely needs to work more. Good. Another 3, and 2, and 1. Great job. Come on back forward onto all fours. And then now we're going to stretch the groin a little bit more. So you're going to be on all fours. You're going to slide the toes to touch, open the knees a little bit. And then just like a frog, you're going to come and lean forward, right? And so your soles of the feet are touching and you're bringing your pelvis forward. It's quite intense, so go be light. Don't let your abs hang, right? Make sure you're not arching your back. Make sure you're still engaging through your lower abdominals. Breathe here. You're doing great. And then come on back up. Sit into the heels. The knees are still wide, right? Straighten yourself up. Inhale and release your hands down. Slide your hands forward. Come on forward and same thing. Soles of the feet touching. Good. And then release. And come and sit down. Okay, so extend your legs out in front of you, right? Extending your legs in front of you. You can flex or point the feet. Lengthen your spine, reach up. Exhale, lean forward. See if you can hook your toes or your feet. And just lean forward here. See, come and rest your belly on top of your thighs. And bring your attention towards your lower back, towards this whole area here, towards your kidney. And just focus on it lengthening. See, just really picture it. Poof. With every inhale down into your lower abdomen. But as you do this, because your belly is resting on your thighs, it's going to put pressure towards your back. So it's going to help extend and really release tension there. Good. Another couple breaths like this. Nice, and release. So come on up. You're going to lay on your back, right? And so we're going to go into the very famous happy baby butt pose. So a couple of ways you can do this, right? First, you're going to bring your knees towards your armpits. You have 2 options. You can grab the outside of your feet, or you can come and hook your big toe, right? Now from here, what I want you to consider is to make sure you're not bringing the heels to touch with the knees wide, and that you are keeping your feet parallel, right? Because this is what is really going to help with opening up through the groin, opening the hips, and releasing pressure on the lower back, right? So knees come towards the armpits. Grab your, that's why I prefer personally to grab the outside of the feet, because it reminds you to keep them parallel. And then from here, come on up. And your goal here is to imagine you're trying to bring your thighs and knees as close as possible to the ground, and your feet are flexed, right? And now, focus on pressing your hips down so that your lower back is in contact with the ground. Now gently here, you're going to rock left to right. Breathing smoothly. You can close your eyes. Good, come back through the center. Extend your legs all the way up above you. Bring your hands underneath your hips to support them. We're just going to stay here for a moment with our legs all the way up in the air. Letting go of any tension. And just breathing smoothly. Now, stay here a little moment longer with your legs all the way up in the air. Release your hands from underneath your hips. Open them nice and wide. Bend your knees. Float your feet down. Bring your feet to the ground. Slide your legs out. And find a nice, comfortable position, laying down on your back with your legs a little bit open, your arms open, so kind of like a starfish, right? Now what we're going to do is I'm going to do some guided relaxation and meditation to get you very refreshed, very relaxed. So I have a little image there for you. I'm going to put a little bit of music on and we'll guide you through all this. So just take a moment. If this is a time you need to get a blanket or a little sweater or a cushion for your head, go ahead, do that, right? And I will be with you in 2 seconds. So here we are, a little bit of music. Okay, so I want you to lay down comfortably and start visualizing a very tranquil lake, maybe somewhere up in the mountains, surrounded by a forest, some nice stones and rocks. The air is cool, the air is fresh. The lake can be extremely reflective, and it is a good way to have it reflect some freshness towards you. Allow your body to just melt exactly where you are laying, and allow your attention to come into your body and to flow with your breath. Feel the cool air entering your body is the cool air from this lake, this refreshing mountain air. Experiencing the sense of the body as a whole by simply lying there, completely extended like a starfish, breathing, relaxing, melting away all the tension from the day. Continue picturing in your mind's eye this lake. It is so tranquil, it is fresh. Maybe you hear the occasional fish. Maybe you have already been to this lake and paid it a visit, and you know exactly the sensations of your body when you swim in the lake. Maybe it is a lake you've always wanted to go to. Let your imagination take you there. Let this cool mountain air caress your body as a whole. Take a big, deep inhale. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale completely. Again, inhale, cool air deeply, and hold for 3, 2, 1. And exhale, letting go of all the tension. Letting go of all the heat. One more time. Inhale, freshness. Hold the cool air in. 3, 2, 1. And exhale all the heat from the day. Notice how this extended body of water that is the lake, notice how this extended body of water that is the lake is just very tranquil, held in the earth's surface. Notice how, if you focus on the lake, you can hear the spring or the stream that is feeding into the lake. This extremely pure, ice cold water. You're feeling the cool air from that stream. Bring your attention back onto the surface of the lake. Watch and observe the surface of this lake carefully. Notice how the surface is reflecting everything around the lake, everything above the lake. Notice how it is always changing. Yet at the same time, the surface is so tranquil and stable, peaceful and fresh. Reflections on the lake surface will change as the sun moves across the sky, as the wind blows the clouds, and the light is reflected off the water in many different ways. This reflection may change depending on the weather, And in your mind, in your imagination, you have the power to see exactly what and how things are reflected on the surface of this lake. Maybe you choose to have this lake extremely calm with the surface looking like glass and reflecting virtually everything with great precision that comes by. Clouds, birds, trees, everything that is surrounding the lake, the sun, the moon, and the stars at night. If this is the morning for you, I invite you to picture the intense brightness of the sun reflecting into the lake. If it is the evening for you, I invite you to picture the colors of the sunset and the moon, maybe even a star or two reflecting off the surface of this lake. Feel your whole body and mind invaded by a sensation of zen, of freshness, of peacefulness. This lake is extremely reflective and contains everything that comes by or over it. It contains everything you choose your mind to see on it. This is your lake. Yes, there are times where it may be windy and the surface could be choppy. Light might sparkle off the waves in different ways, like a myriad of jewels. Consider how a chaotic environment around the lake is still generating beauty on its surface. The lake changes, of course, throughout the seasons. In winter, picture this lake completely frozen, surrounded by snow, a very cool, icy cold. Feel how this ice and this snow is against your skin. So cold. Through days and nights, through seasons, through years, this lake is constantly changing, but always is its own essential nature. It is always there. It evolves, but remains rooted into the earth. See how you can invite this lake to become coextensive with your own body as you are laying there. Feel how your body becomes the lake. You are whole with the lake. Pureness, the freshness, the coolness of this water. You feel held and embraced as you lay there, aware of the many ways in which your own mind is like the surface of the lake, sometimes highly reflective, sometimes choppy, but always clear and beautiful. Start getting in touch with the sense of the entirety of this lake, the full body of water, not just the surface but also below. Feel your entire body submerged by the water, the coolness, the freshness. Experience this fullness of your own being. Remind yourself that even in times when your mind may be choppy, upset, or reactive, or may be dealing with difficult situations, you can drop down beneath the surface of your own mind's waves, finding stillness, calmness, coolness, freshness. This cool lake is always available to you with each moment, with each breath. And whenever you come and lay down in this way, you are laying here under the canopy of your vast awareness, experiencing the moment that changes your body, experiencing sensations, thoughts, feelings, impulses, sounds, and all the while lake-like, just simply laying there, watching the play of the weather over the mind, body, allowing the awareness to hold it all moment by moment, breath by breath, in your own fullness, in your own completeness, moment by moment. Feel the coolness and the freshness, the calmness of this lake on your mind, on your body. You are whole with the lake. You are highly reflective. You have let go of any heat, of any tension, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You are now ready to go into a deep sleep. You are now ready to feel fully rested, restored, rejuvenated, and recovered. Take a moment here to continue breathing, observing how you are feeling. And this will mark the end of our special Zen out part of our Zen Fit session. I hope you enjoyed this, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your evening or your day. Bye bye.